Welcome to Deep Heights. My name is Deborah. I'm going to do a reading today. No set spread for no sign in particular. If you're here, if you've been drawn here, hopefully there's something here for you. I'm going to use some different decks and get some different energies. The kind of feeling that I have right now, and my intention for this read is for things to become crystal clear. And that's kind of what I was feeling this morning for me, where I am, and for things to become crystal clear. Let's get started. Ooh. Wow. Consciousness. Card 17. Ooh, my hands are shaking. Consciousness. Card 17 makes me think of the star. Of the energy of reawakening, because ultimately, well, maybe not. I was going to say ultimately consciousness is self-consciousness. I think of consciousness, I think of awareness, of being, and what does it mean to truly be? Because in the star card, well, I feel like this intense amount of energy, I almost can't speak. In the star card, she's pouring that out over herself, the waters of life, of consciousness. And water is water life. That's interesting. Something about water. The 17 breaks down to an 8, which is strength, infinity, the limniscate, the movement. Consciousness is movement. It isn't stillness. Is it both stillness and flow? But consciousness to me is movement. I could go on and on. There's such a deep, heavy feeling, but also moving that I feel. It's really intense. Oh, and on the bottom of the deck is healing. Talking about the star card, that healing energy. Consciousness is a choice. Ayn Rand, a personal hero of mine. She's a philosopher and author and amazing human being. She talks about consciousness as a choice, as a matter of life and death, that when we choose to be an I, as a self, that ultimately we choose life. And if we just don't use the faculties of reason, then we're ultimately dead. Wow. Okay. Consciousness. Okay. Let's use the Thoth deck to begin. Let's see what Spirit wants to talk about with this consciousness. The Three of Discs. Movement in the material world. This is Sun in Capricorn. We are coming into Capricorn season now. Right now, there are a lot of planets in Capricorn. At the time that I'm recording this, this is Mars in Capricorn. Sorry, not Sun in Capricorn. That's the 4. The will, talking about the choice to be alive or not, but the knowledge, because you have to have knowledge and information and wisdom to be alive. But do you? These are questions that I'm asking and to discover, hoping to discover. I was talking about things becoming crystal clear. And in life, it's consciousness. Wow, I feel like I can't speak. Excuse me. I'm not exaggerating either. Consciousness. The need to move and the will to move. This card reminds me of, like, say this pyramid structure here, that's you, or me, or us as a being, right? That's the structure. The earth, the Capricornian, earthy, that's cardinal earth, right? Capricorn. The will to move, to begin. It begins the winter season. And these three wheels here, that's Mars. Mars' ability to move in the water. Was saying about crystal clear and about water, something was heavy and watery, and the will to move, because we are, we have that spark of life, that feeling, not that just that feeling, but that we're alive and that we're being, but we have to choose to be alive as well. That we have to have the will to move. Capricorn is the sea goat, from the water to the earth, and it rises. The goat ascends to the highest height from the deepest depths. Deep heights, right? I'm rising Capricorn. Not that it matters, that's just, sorry, it's not the Deborah show. Having the ability to co-create, coming online, the 17 star card is also about online communication. You know, electricity and how things move, how energy, how impulses, electrons, whatever, you know, how energy is transmitted and moved, that's consciousness. And this is you as the individual here, this is you as this little structure, this trinity. That's more because it's 3 triangles, which is 9, but there's a base, so there would be 3 more, and that's 12, which breaks down to a 3. And I don't know how that's relevant, but numerology and, you know, where it brings you, that's what tarot is about where it brings you. Maybe the things we can't express either, which is why I might not be making any sense. Okay, let's get some animal energies. Let's talk about this consciousness. The first card that pops out is the hummingbird. I always think of Virgo, Virgoan energy, about precision. I say that often when anyway. This card is about precision, about extraction of the sweetness or something important information without harming consciousness. Is consciousness information? If we think about history, things like the Akashic records, knowing about our history, something needs to be the B as well on the bottom. That's interesting. So something must need to be, we need something here. Maybe that's why we're here. The purpose of our existence is to learn and to grow and to develop this ability, this will to get up, to move up. And I don't always think we're in a lower existence to move up, but these are just terms we use to better understand difficult subjects, to simplify them. But something needs, we're looking for something, ourself, God, spirit. Spirit is the flower and we're the bee. Nature. There's something we need to find. Is that thing that we need to find consciousness? Wow, I feel really animated and excited. You know, the way the hummingbird moves, his wings, and it's like heartbeat, and I don't remember, but I think I've read like how fast the hummingbird, their heart beats. Excuse me, and their wings, the way their wings move. I can still recall the first time that I ever saw a hummingbird. And I was by myself, and I was playing by myself, like in like a walnut tree grove, and I saw the hummingbird, and I thought that a bird and some type of mosquitoes, had mated, and I had stumbled upon a whole new species. The imagination of a child, and that wonder, the wonder and awe of life, and just wanting to be around that, wanting to marvel at its beauty and taste of its sweetness. A lot of air. These cards look very beautiful together as well. Apologize for my lighting, but hopefully you can see how beautiful they look together. What a marvel and beauty that life is. Healing. Seeking healing if when we're shattered or fractured, our psyches, our hearts, thinking about the chakras, these separate parts of ourselves, and needing to bring them in to harmony and unity, within. And Mars and Capricorn is also the Tower, which is card 16. It can get out of control. The hummingbird. On the Thoth deck, there's the dove, which represents Venus, Cologne. There's no dove in this animal deck. But the hummingbird is a peaceful energy because it doesn't destroy. It doesn't destroy. It just flits lightly. Like Mars here getting this heavy energy up out of this water. Like in the creation stories, like it was in the deep, in the watery deeps, like Venus was born of the sea foam. The lightness and like the whirring here could create a foam, something pure and healing. Talking about Virgo, we have the healing card on the bottom of the deck, and below that is change. But we have to participate in that process. We have to choose and be sovereign beings. Mars in Capricorn is sovereign with the will. In my work, this card is works. Work, choice, study, learning. The limitations. Saturn is about limitations. People think like the Devil card is something bad because you're restricted and bounded. Like in traditional decks, there's the devil and then there's the two beings who are chained. Maybe that devil is you, your higher self, saying, hey, no, there are things about me that need to be limited. And whatever that is for you, I don't know. That's only for you to know and to consciously be aware of. Sorry, I have to. All right, let's get another animal card. I feel like this is so broad but not, because consciousness is everything, but it's also you, it's me, it's my cells are conscious, the living. Talking about Ayn Rand, the book We the Living, to be alive amongst the dead, to be an individual, to remain true to your convictions, to your reason amongst insanity. The abyss, if these waters represent an insanity, the collective unconscious, if that not necessarily negative in the Jungian sense, but if that is what it is, if the water represents everyone else, This could be you saying, no, I'm unto myself, I am sovereign being, I am a conscious being, I choose to be conscious and go my own way. 3. This belongs to the Queen of Discs, who is patient, and she loves nature and the earth. She's kind to animals and to human beings, and she's worked very hard to get where she is. She's not cruel. Like the hummingbird isn't cruel. It doesn't harm. It just hums. And what is it? What do we do when we hum? We hum when we're happy. Some people hum when they're nervous, but it's a sound, it's a move, it's a motor. The hum. This is the hummingbird. The motor, consciousness, the hum, the life, the will. Below everything, that movement that exists within, and it should be crystal clear, because everything, not everything, but so much in the world is designed to get you to forget who you are, and you're never quiet enough to hear this hum of your own energy, of your own being. And I feel like I would want to cry, because it's so sacred and so special and holy. And why why it's not more revered. Okay. Just looking at the healing card, that what it means, like when you find this, when you get quiet enough to hear that hum, is when you can heal. The turtle. He's just going. I feel like this turtle. Tom Waits, anywhere I lay my head is home. That's the energy of this turtle. That he's able to move in the water. Turtle is the 3 of discs. Because he moves in the water. This shell, that's the corporeal, that's the matter. The matter. This is you, this living being that's protected. The body of the turtle represents like your spirit, which is your body too. But movement in the dark. Because look how beautiful and beautifully colored he is. He's alive, he's conscious. And he's just moving by himself in the dark. I've said before how this card always represents the poem Baby Tortoise to me, from D.H. Lawrence. When you wake up, because that poem is about becoming conscious, waking up. The baby tortoise is coming alive, and he like looks out, and he goes on his own, young titan, indomitable one. This card is about strength and movement and being alone, and knowing that you have the strength because you're vulnerable. Your body, or your spirit, or the things that spirit is fragile. We are fragile beings, and we need to be protected, and this shell protects. It also makes me think about like cells. This could, and I wish I knew more about science. The beauty of nature, the symmetry. So talking about Saturn before, the ring here, the limitations. get a card from the sisters and see what this is about. Something we should consider here about consciousness and healing. We have magic and success. The magic of life, consciousness, magic. The Charketra here, the Trinity, the three, the works, the movement. We have success. I'm working on a project about Ayn Rand and the importance for women to read her work. And the success here, this card makes me think of when she talks about to be selfish, the self-esteem of the I, and the success, the independent success. That this is success. Consciousness is success. The coming online of yourself and waking up to who you are and what you are, whatever that means for you. That you're an I. You know who you are. Wilhelm Reich, he talks about truth, and that truth is in the organism. That truth must exist within you. The truth exists in you from the very beginning, and knowing who you are as distinct from others. I feel like what this success card is speaking to. I'm thinking about this bird here that's rising up, that's looking up, this white bird, purified. March through April, spring, reawakening. Like a little seed that's been planted in the dirt, in the ground, that is in the dark and then grows through concrete. You know, you've seen those pictures where one little sprout has broken the concrete. The magic of that and what that is. Nature. I hope that I'm not like leaving gaps, because I feel a lot and I'm getting a lot, and sometimes in the midst of it, I don't know if I verbalize all of it. And maybe it's not for me to verbalize. Hopefully that this gives you something to feel. Let's get some Rider-Waite. Can you speak to us about this consciousness, please? Is there something blocking us from this consciousness? We have the King of Pentacles and the Five of Cups reversed with the Eight of Wands. Whatever you or we or I or anyone seeking to build stability, or whatever our kingdom was, is gone. We can say worldly things, right? We weep for the past, for what is lost. We weep for what is lost, our old self, who we were when we were, before we were conscious, is represented here by the King of Pentacles reversed, because he's unlearned in the ways of the world, of the earth. He doesn't know how to grow a garden. He doesn't understand the processes of nature, of spirit. Here reversed, he's ignorant. More than that, those words, he's retarded would be a very un-PC word, but when cells, like when cells go to replicate, like in DNA, like the cells know what they're going to create. They know they're going to create a human being, or they know that they're going to create a certain type of tree, or animal, or whatever, and something goes wrong. There's a word for that, and I can't think of it. But something here is like stopped. Like something went wrong in the creation process. Consciousness, right? Something wrong in the process of growth. And there's like a grief over that you're not able to get past. And with the Eight of Wands, it's asking you to be a part of that change, of that Mercury and Sagittarius, of learning more about yourself, about nature. What is the nature, of consciousness, of spirit? Those could be blockages for change and for healing and for success. I don't have a good feeling about this King of Pentacles reverse. This is like a deformity, something not so evil as something like I don't feel it's evil like Melkor, but there's something here that in the natural process of creation, the flow of, there are always going to be things that could go wrong, and something's gone wrong, stunted maybe, but that's going to change, but you have to take part in that change and initiate that change. Mutable fire, quickness, movement. The word is like how I'm moving my hands makes me think of this three discs, this movement, this whir, this hum. This hum. This is a stop. This King of Pentacles is no longer humming. Even this Five of Cups reversed, being stuck in this energy of failure. This is failure to grow. This is not having been able to come up through the concrete. But we have to try again, to keep trying and keep moving and keep learning. This fast movement. We don't give up. We keep searching to be successful. We can't give up. You can't give up. And just try, like that, I think it's Samuel Beckett. Ever tried, ever failed, fail again, fail harder, fail better. Something like that. Beautiful. Really nice. I have the Marielle Tarot out. Let's get a few. See what these cards are really beautiful. This deck. They're just kind of large and hard for me to shuffle, so I usually don't use them in my videos. I'd like to speak with this success and magic, if the Marielle Tarot can speak with us about these, about the success. Spirit's advice for us to succeed, to help us. Do we have helpers? Are we really alone? This is very interesting. We have the Eight of Swords, the Three of Discs again, and the Knight of Wands reversed. I'm asking if we were really alone. What do we need to help us? Speak, friend, and enter. There are symbols all around on the these wow, my hands are shaking. On these rocks, these symbols, because we're in our mind. Is consciousness just in the mind? Is it just in the body? It's in everything. Everything is alive. I think it has life. It's here. It exists. It has life. But we deny that to ourselves in our mind or in our body, however that presents. The Knight of Wands. This is going just to go, going without purpose here. This reminds me of the nothing from Neverending Story. Steady my hand. I don't know why I'm shaking. Trying. The nothing. The nothing he just wanted to destroy. That energy was just to destroy. He's like, it's like the Langoliers, just eats time, it eats history, it eats life. Just insatiable. The Knight of Wands reversed. It just wants to go and take. But that's you. That's a part of you. And that's like your abyss. The Knight of Wands reversed and the Eight of Swords is your abyss. With the Three of Discs again. It's a choice. Eight of Wands, a mind prison that you keep yourself in through ignorance and arrogance and inability to fucking listen to your own higher self or listen to teachers who have good intentions or crystal clear. You're fucking muddy or dirty, or I think they put lead in crystal. Lead, heavy. Think about being heavy, but it's also poisonous, right? Something about that. Heaviness. The lead. Alchemy, turning lead into gold. Process. Philosopher's Stone. You are the stone. Consciousness is the stone. These blue flames, this blue light, these blue stars. You're a blue star. You're a star in your own sky. Gothic star in disguise. It's a line from a poem I wrote. I don't know why it came out of my mouth right now. Okay. Let's close with one more card from the Sacred Geometry deck. Discernment. 20. That's the Judgment card, the Aeon, the awakening, the rebirth of the self, of a new Aeon unto yourself, and what you create in your own world for your own body, your own self. Only you can do that. Discerning your truth from another's, the truth from the lie. But you have to have consciousness for discernment, right? You have to have the awareness. Where does one come from? Where does it come from? These are questions that I don't necessarily have the answers for, but doesn't mean I won't ask the question or continue to seek the answer in whatever way I go about doing that, or you go about doing that. Wisdom, experience gives us the ability to discern, I think. I can say that for myself. Again, with those 3 discs. 3 of discs is a card that I recommend that you meditate upon. The Thoth deck is a beautiful deck, beautifully illustrated and drawn to open up within your own imagination and feeling whatever this card would mean to you. Meditate upon it. I wish you wellness. I hope to see you again.